Hello YouTube, my name is Quirky Bart, and I'm going to be taking a look at a ship that I'm surprised I never see in ranked and rarely see in random battles. I personally believe that this ship is missing out. People are missing out on this ship. But this is the Tier 4 Italian heavy cruiser Genova. Now, Genova is one of only 4 heavy cruisers at Tier 4. You have Hawkins, Furitaka, Kirov, and Genova. Hawkins, Furitaka, and Genova all have 203mm guns. But Hawkins and Furitaka are high explosive based. Genova here is armor piercing based, which means that its main ammo type you should be using is armor piercing. Now, the reason I believe this ship is underrated is because of those 203mm guns. And I like to compare it to a very popular pick for Tier 5 ranked, which I'll get to in a minute. But this ship was obtained last October 2021, through the Halloween event. You had to play the first event to unlock Bellerophon, or just buy it straight up like I did, and afterwards you would, in the second event, play the Bellerophon to unlock the Genova. And as a result, the Genova is not the most common ship in the world, but at the same time I don't see why it's unpopular. The guns are great, it has 4 torpedoes per side, and like I said earlier, it's armor piercing based. I like to compare this ship to the Graf Spee, which is a very popular pick for Tier 5. Large armor piercing based guns for the tier, 4 torpedoes per side, and a cruiser. It's a great ship for ranked. And I have a match here. This was my last match. It'll demonstrate it really, really well. So we're on Polar, and it's a 3v3. This was the very last, most recent season of Ranked as of recording this video. So as we get started, we see the Emerald. Now, Genova, with her 20-second reload, it's a turn-off to some people, but to me personally, I play battleships a lot, so the reload doesn't ever bother me. I'm pretty unfazed by it. But here you can see the torpedoes. Now, they are the slow Italian torpedoes, which is a bit annoying, but you can get around them. There is a perk I think Membelli has that'll shorten the torpedo range in exchange for... Ooh, we just hit that Omaha. But there's a perk for Membelli that will exchange torpedo range for speed, but the range, it decreases the range too much for me, so I don't like to use it. But Omaha's dead. I mean, there's no way he's surviving this. And he's gone. First ship down. All that's left is a Farragut and an Emerald. Farragut's a great pick for ranked, but Emerald, not so much. I'm still baffled that I didn't see any Genovas out there in ranked. This thing is ridiculously underrated in standard battles, ranked, arena. I'm surprised I didn't use this thing in 1v1 ranked. I prefer it over Königsberg. This ship is the ugly duckling. Look at that superstructure. She's not the prettiest ship in the world. And big oof to that Emerald. That hurts. But that's why you don't mess around with... That's why Genova's so good. She's got 8-inch armor-piercing shells at a tier where cruisers are at their squishiest. You're putting the shells of the Amalfi, basically, up against Omahas. I mean, that is incredible. So, match is almost over. We're coming down to try to get this Farragut, but I don't think we get him. Yeah, the Jaguar here is going to torp him. But that's the Genova. She's a great ship, and I recommend anybody who owns her should really take another look at her. She's ridiculously underrated, and I highly recommend her to anyone who has owned the ship, will own the ship, if it ever comes back. I hope it does. More people should have it. More people should try it. But on closing thoughts, Genova's great. Really looking forward to her getting SAP shells. And tell me how you guys like this voiceover. This is my first time trying it. I've hesitated on it for a while. Goodbye.